Life is interesting. It's interesting because there's no roadmap. There's no guide to life. Everybody's life is different. Everyone experiences life differently, uniquely to them, uniquely to their circumstances. But that is the essence and as well as the beauty of life, that it is unpredictable. And that is the essence of what we're talking about today. How life is unpredictable. No man know the time or the hour. So we don't know what's going to happen from minute to minute. But with our spirit, our soul, our energy, our physical being, and our mind, we have the power to prepare for the unknown. We don't know. It's called the unknown for a reason. We don't know what's going to happen. But we can prepare ourselves as best we can. But it's not only that we can, in my opinion, my strong opinion, it's our duty to do so. It doesn't take much to know that things can happen. What can happen? Many different types of things can happen. And we can start calculating and think about, well, if this happened, if that happened, if that happened, what would I do? Am I prepared? What should I do? My strong suggestion is to be prepared. To be prepared before it happens. This is what my go bag mindset is all about. Having things prepared, having things ready, that you are prepared. It's not about, it can be disaster. Anything. It could be great things. It can be the thing that you've been hoping for and praying for. Many people have hopes and dreams and things that they want to do. They have goals. They have so many things that they're working on. But they may not do all the things they need to do to be prepared for it. And in a snap of a finger, what they've been hoping for, what they've been dreaming for, it happens. It appears. But they're not ready. They still need more time. I need to do this. I need to go see Larry. I need to speak to Angela first. You got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. Your destiny awaits, and it can happen at any time, any place. And the onus is on you to be prepared. That is what the gold bag mindset is all about. Preparation. So, I have two parts. Unfortunately, if you wasn't with me the last time, you missed the first part. The first part is the foundation, gold bag mindset. Today, we're going to level up. Today, we got the financial gold bag mindset. This is going to be a good one. I would recommend everyone get your pen and your pad, take notes, because this is very important. The financial gold bag mindset. But before we get started, for those who may have missed the first part, we just do a small recap and we'll go over it just to lay the basis and lay the foundation of what the gold bag mindset is all about. And it's really all about preparation. Whatever, come what may, good, bad, or indifferent, you can be prepared, because being prepared puts you in a position where it strengthens you. It puts you in a position of power. It puts you ahead of the game as opposed to being behind. When you're behind, you're reacting to something. When you're ahead, you're proactive to something. And that is a position of strength. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Hour of Power and Praise with D.E. Wilder. I am D.E. Wilder, and I am living life with power, passion, personal growth, and more importantly, with purpose. Let us give thanks. Let us give thanks for all things, but more importantly, give thanks for the small things, the things that most people overlook, the things that we take for granted. Those things are important to our life. And trust me, if you lose them, you'll know that. This space is where we are going to talk about building strength and resilience and purpose in your everyday life. The go bag mindset. You know, traditionally, what a go bag would be in an emergency is an emergency kit. Having all the things that you may need in case of a disaster. You may need a flashlight. You may need water. You may need, if you have a car, you may need a car jack. You may need these things. Well, go bag mindset is not a physical one, but a one that is in your mind, in your consciousness, and your soul and your system. Things that you are getting prepared for. Because here is what is very important with a go bag mindset. It's putting you in a position where you don't panic in case of an emergency. That's the worst thing that can happen. You want to be in a position of strength where you can have sound mind and judgment and make the best decisions in those situations. Where when you're reactionary and you panic, oftentimes you don't make the best decision. You know, life emotional storms can happen at any time. We can have a career change, a relationship change, health change, you know, but we have to know and be prepared for these things. Just like being prepared for physically for an emergency, we need to be mentally and emotionally prepared for all things that can come. Having your go bag mindset. So quickly, let's go over what the go bag mindset. Why do we need a go bag? Life is unpredictable. Things rarely go as we had planned. Emergency happens all the time, and we often get caught off guard. Having this go bag mindset, while things may shift suddenly, we are mentally prepared. We have mental preparedness. You know, people in chaos and confusion, they panic, they freeze, and they often make poor decisions. We don't want to do that. We want to be prepared. We want to move with clarity, courage, and most importantly, my key word always, purpose. So, what do you put in your metaphorical go bag? Resilience, gratitude, faith, adaptability, support systems, self-discipline, and being calm and centering yourself and having those type of practice. These are all things that you should have in your mental go bag. Resilience. Why resilience? The ability to bend and be adjustable. Bend without breaking. You know, life may push us, it may pull us, it may tug us, but we have to have the ability to keep moving forward and to bounce back. Being resilient is most important because things are going to happen, but we have to have the ability to adapt and move with things so we can get through them. Gratitude. As I mentioned, we are always thankful. We're thankful for all things, but most importantly for the small things. Even in the worst crisis, focusing on what is still good, what is still present, keeps us grounded, keeps things in perspective. Keep it a positive outlook. You already won half the battle. Having a faith in a belief system, whether you're spiritual or you just have personal convictions, these things anchor you and center you. And it reminds us that in a storm, you can make it through a storm. And that storms don't last forever. And what is that old spiritual term that we use? This too shall pass. Will not last forever. You have to believe that. You have to know that. Adaptability. Plans change. Everything can change. Being flexible, being adaptable is a strength. In fact, being flexible and adaptable, being what they call agile, is a superpower. The reason it's a superpower because most people can't. Most people can't adjust and can't shift on the fly. You know, they need time to think, time to adjust. Well, when things are moving fast, and you don't have time. The ones who can move the fastest, the ones who can adjust the fastest, is the ones who are going to have the best outcome. Trust me, I know this. We're talking about what's in this go bag mindset. Support system. We all take for granted, but don't realize that no man is an island. We need a support system. No one can survive on their own. You need your family. You need friends. You need mentors. You need your community. You need your village. All of those things, that support system, those things are closest to you, those people that's closest to you, people who you love, all those things belong in your go bag mindset. Self-discipline. Self-discipline, habits and routines that you often do, that keeps you steady, that keeps you grounded in the midst of chaos. These things will pull you back into order, help you keep balance, stay steady. Being disciplined, very important. If you want to get anything done, if you have goals, if you have plans, I always say, you see me with my pen, I always have my pen, write things down, plan it out, journal, whatever the case may be. But be prepared, be disciplined, and stay with it and stick with it. In time and over time, you're going to see the results that you're looking for. Having a practice of meditation often keeps us calm and keeps us centered. In midst of chaos, if you could take a moment, if you could take a second just to stop and center yourself with a practice of breathing and a practice of getting yourself centered, getting your emotions under control, this can help any circumstances where you may feel overwhelmed. So those are the things that you throw inside your go bag mindset. Very important to have this. Anything can happen. Good, bad, or indifference. But what we expected is good things. And this is a funny thing, because I just mentioned that. We all have hopes and dreams and things that we're working towards and things that we are waiting to come to pass. And they will. But the key is, and I always speak to this, always preach to this, the key is to be ready. To be ready, to put yourself in the most opportune position. And this goes back to having discipline. Because when you be ready and you put yourself in an opportune position, it's not a position that someone is going to tell you to be in. No one's going to get up every day and say, you got to be ready. Now, I used to do that. I used to coach these young people. I always say to them, I say, stay ready so you can play ready. Stay ready so you can play ready. You can't get out on the court and start trying to get ready. You got to be ready before you get there. But this is real life. We're an adult. We don't have that coach standing by our bed. We have to have the self-discipline to say, you know what? I got to do this thing. I have to do that. I have to get this in order. I have to get that in order. So we can be prepared for the things that's going to happen. For those things that we hope for those things that we dream about. They're going to come to pass. God is my witness. But it's up to you to be ready for them when they come. My encouragement is to get ready. Daily practices, as I mentioned. In that mental goal bag, you want to have your mindset and clarity. So you might want to do some journaling and some meditation and prayer and affirmation and all these small things that strengthen your mentality, strengthen your mental mindset, your mental state in preparation for anything to come. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. It's often said that you got to keep that goal bag. You got to keep it ready, but you got to keep it light. Keep it ready, but keep it light. Reality is, when it's time to go, you can't take everything. I know we want to take everything. I know we have so many things that matter to us. So many belongings that are meaningful to us. But you can't take everything. Same thing with your go bag mindset. So what you want to do is you don't want to overpack it. You want to leave out those negativities. You want to leave out fear. You want to leave behind self-doubt. You want to run faster than your hesitation. You want to leave out anything that's going to hold you back. So you can make sure that you have all the things that you really need in the time that you got to go. Resilience, perspective, and courage to do what you got to do. Your go bag mindset, just like a physical go bag in an emergency, you got to check in it regularly. You got to check up on the things. You got to look in it and make sure that everything is ready. It's up to code. It's ready to go. More importantly, you got to discard the things that you don't need. If something doesn't serve you anymore, if something is not warranted anymore, release it, discard it. You don't need it. And make sure that you put in the things that you need, because we are human beings. As time change, we change. Our needs change. We have to make sure that that gold bag is always ready. So check up on it regularly. So we're living with a gold bag mindset where we are prepared, where we're not living with fear, where we are living with readiness and preparedness. We are going to breed confidence. We're going to walk into any situation knowing that we got what it takes to handle it, and we are prepared for the unexpected. This is the things that we want to have, and this is the reason why we have a gold bag mindset. You know, life will always throw us curveballs. We can't escape that. Once again, job change, our health can fluctuate, relationships evolve, but you got to have that gold bag mindset to ensure that you don't crumble and that you don't stumble under pressure. That was a recap, and that was the fundamental basis of the gold bag mindset and what I spoke about in part 1. Now we're moving on to part 2. We're going to elevate and go to the next level. We're going to think about this and say, what if all our dreams come true? What if what we dream about and all our goals and everything is just forging forward? Are we ready? At the foundation and the underpinning of being ready, and you can have all of these things that you need to be ready, I can tell you, you are going to be enormously impede on doing the things that you want to do if you're not financially ready. It's not many ways around it. You're going to have to be financially ready. This is what we're talking about now. We're not talking about when it's going to happen. We're talking about preparing for it now so we're ready when it happens. Financial preparedness. Having a financial gold bag mindset. Let's get into it. Once again, I hope that this message serves somebody well. I hope that this message serves as what we call a beacon, a wake-up call, in a time where people are not thinking about it. You know, I'm not I'm not a doomsday sayer. I promise you I'm not. But I am one person that's always prepared. I carry preparation with me. Let me tell you a little story before we go there. And I was thinking about this today. And this is most likely, I never really even put it into thought, but this is most likely the reason I am the way I am. I was thinking about it today. I was thinking about my mother. My late mother. I miss her so much. As I've mentioned before, I am the youngest of 5 boys. So imagine being a mother, single woman, having 5 boys, all different ages. The difference between us, I'm the youngest. The difference, my oldest is over 10 years difference. So me and all the ages in between. And my mother would get up and get us ready and make sure each one get ready. And then when we go out somewhere, it's like little chickadees following your mother goose. We're following our mother. And anything we needed, she had it. Somebody sneezed, she pulled out a tissue. Somebody needed a stick of gum, something they want you on. She pulled out a stick of gum. Somebody was concerned about their breath. She pulled out a Tic Tac. I mean, she had everything in the bag. It was unbelievable. If somebody got something on the, I mean, we didn't have wet wipes back then. You take a tissue and you lick it a little bit, and then you wipe somebody's face or something. She had everything, and I watched that example, and it kind of fascinated me how no matter what I asked for, somehow she had it. And I started to live my life in that way, having all the things you're gonna need before you need it, so you don't put yourself in a position of need. So that's most likely the basis of why I am the way I am. And I'm just trying to share it with so many people because I, in my businesses and working with many different people, whether it's private sector, public sector, I do see a very big weakness in people being prepared and being agile enough to adopt to adapt, to adapt to changing environments. And this is my energy, sending out energy and frequencies to the people to let them know that we are living in changing times. If you have an inability to adapt and to change, well, we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to fix that real soon, because we are living in changing time. And my beacon and my urging is not to say that we're living in changing time where there's a negativity. We're living in changing time. I'm the person who believes. I'm the positive speaker. I believe anything. There's some level of positivity in anything. And in changing times, all I see is opportunity. When there's a shift, when we're going from one thing to another thing, all I see in that change is opportunity. Filled with opportunities. Opportunities for each and every one of us. A place for each and every one of us. But once again, got to be prepared. Moving on. Financial go bag mindset. This is going to be a doozy. So like the go bag mindset, this one is going to focus on being financially prepared. So today we are delving into how to shift and the ways to approach finances and financial security and have that financial go bag mindset. This is part 2. Now, we've heard what the physical go bag is. We know what that is. We also established what my go bag mindset is. Now, let's focus on the fundamentals of finances. Because the truth is, financial emergencies are just as real as any type of emergency. And financial emergencies are even more disruptive. It can be a job loss. It can be medical bills, unexpected expense, or even opportunities. Opportunities that you don't want to miss. When emergencies arises, the difference between being crushed and being prepared often comes down to whether you have a financial go bag ready. Having the financial wherewithal is going to make all the difference in the outcome of unexpectedness. Today, I want to walk us through what that looked like. Why will we need it? And how to build it step by step. Why does a financial go bag matter? One would ask. Think about emergencies are not a matter of if, they're a matter of when. When you buy a car, we must have car insurance. And when we have that car insurance, no one gets the car insurance and say, oh, I can't wait to get in an accident. At least I hope not. But we get the car insurance just in case we get in an accident. So that same principle applies to financial matter, being prepared. Life happens fast. You know, a job can disappear, as I mentioned many times. Rent spikes all the time. I mean, we're living in a time now where the rent, they say the rent is too high. Car can break down. If you have a car and you got to commute every day, that's a lot of wear and tear on your car. Your child can need something unexpectedly. The question is not, how do I avoid problems? But am I financially equipped to handle them? It's the question that we have to ask ourselves. A financial go bag is your shield. Is your shield and your armor and shield. It buys you time. It buys you time when life throws you punches. It protects your mental health in times of need, because you don't have to panic and rush when everything turns and every little bump and every little curve. You'll be prepared. Most importantly, it gives you the power of choice. And it puts you in a position where you're not forced to make desperate decisions. And that's something that we don't want to do. What's inside of this financial go bag that I speak of? So what goes in it? Just like a physical version, it's the essentials. Here are some of the pillars that should be in your financial go bag. First one, emergency funds. Second, essential documents. Third, and this is going to be a good one. We're going to break this one down a little bit more. Multiple streams of income. Fourth, credit access. 5, mindset and knowledge. Oh, these are some good ones. We got to break these down. Let's go. Emergency funds, otherwise known as cash cushions or cash stash or your Go funds. Call it whatever you want. But in a time of need, you need to have some money put away. They used to say put it under your mattress. You can put it wherever you want. But in a time of need, you need to have some emergency funds that you can turn to take care of things that you need to take care. So they say, if you wanted to be in a sound position, you should have 3 to 6 months of essential expenses put away. So when they say essential expenses, they're saying 3 to 6 months salary put away that you can touch in case of an emergency. In reality, that is unrealistic for most people. That should be a goal. That should be something that we work towards, but it's not realistic for everybody. But let's think about this. Even if 3 to 6 months essential expenses fund is put away, if you can't do that, can we work on having 1 month, 2 months? Why does that matter? 1 to 2 months. 2 months is because 2 months at the very least will give you a cushion of time that now you can do whatever you need to do to try to quickly get yourself back in order. You don't want to put yourself in a position where something happens and you have nothing to turn to. And there's a lot of people who would be in that position. I don't even have the statistic in front of me, but there's a statistic out there that shows that like 70% of Americans have less than $2,000 or $1,000 in their bank account or something like that. No emergency fund. Well, what I am employing people to do is to prepare and to work brick by brick, step by step now on empowering yourself so you're not in that position. You know, if you can sit back and hear my voice, if you can pick up a paper and read that statistics, then that should be a wake-up call to say, you know what, if I'm not there, I need to start working on getting there. So, even if you start with $500, $100, start today, brick by brick, step by step, putting something away that you are shoring up your emergency funds, because as I told you, and as I'm saying to you, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's when. We're not going to escape it. Things will happen unexpectedly, and we need to be prepared for it. Essential documents. Now this one hits home. This one is so important. And when I say essential documents, I'm talking about across the board. Definitely essential documents for yourself, but essential documents for the people that you care about and for your loved ones. Yes, I was in the position to have lost in my life people close to me. In fact, I can just tell this story. When I was young, I was still in grade school, and we had a cousin, my mother's cousin, who lived like several blocks from us. And unfortunately, she passed away unexpectedly. And when that happened, we had to go to her house, and we had to, do what families do, take care of the situation. Man, we walked in there and we didn't know where to start. We didn't know where one piece of paper was, one piece of document, didn't know if she had insurance or not, didn't know where birth certificate was, didn't know where ID was, didn't know where anything was. And she lived 2 blocks from us and lived there for the most of my life at that time. In fact, my mother came from the South, and my mother came and stayed with her and her mother when she came and moved to the Northeast, to New York City. But we didn't know anything. And that's a wake-up call to say, do I know where the important documents are should something happen? Do I know where to go and what to grab and stuff like that? If you're hearing my voice right now and you think about that and you're saying, I'm not sure, I don't know, it's time to know. It's time to get prepared. Get your essential documents together, whether it's digital or physical. What we're going to need: ID, insurance policies, bank info, power of attorney info, wills, medical directive. I know these are the hard things to think about. These are the hard things to talk about. These are the things that people don't want to think about. But in the time of need, you're going to wish you thought about. You're going to wish you had all these things in order. Keeping them secure, especially if it's digital. If it's digital, you want to keep it encrypted and keep it somewhere where it can be found. It has to be accessible, but keep it safe. If it's physical documents, then you want to keep it in what they call a fire retarded case or something like that. Just in case, there's a fire or something, those documents remain safe. Having your essential documents somewhere and put away and in order. Tell another story. Had a client, new possible client, and had a great meeting with them. And I remember right at the tail end of the meeting, they said, well, one part of this project that we're going to be working on is going to require you to go to Sweden. And I remember sitting there thinking in my mind, my passport expired. I'm not even ready. Those little things are why I am the way I am today, being prepared. Because I remember things that put me in a position where I wasn't prepared. And I never want to be in that position again. Stay prepared. Essential documents. Here's a good one. This one right here that I have adopted has been a part of my life for most of my life, since I was a kid. Multiple streams of income. They call it many things now. They call it freelancing. They call it, the popular term is side hustle, passive income. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Where I come from, we coined the term side hustle. Everybody has something going on, and I don't care who you are. I grew up with people who were police officers, people who were teachers, people who were lawyers, or whatever the case may be. They were professionals, and they always had something else they were doing. When I grew up, we were in the music business, and there was a lot of musicians and producers and different things. And by night, person's a producer. He's a manager. He's a publicist. He's a what they call a road manager. By day, they're professionals. They got a full-time job. So we coined the term side hustle. We always had something going on. Very important that today, multiple streams of income. Unless you are doing extremely well, you're going to have one stream of income that's going to do everything and cover all. And I tell you one thing about it, because I'm a serial entrepreneur and a business owner. I guarantee you, if you have one stream of income that's very well and taking care of everything, you're probably giving your time, your life, and your heart and your soul to it. I guarantee you that job is sucking everything out of you. I guarantee you it is. Because no one's paying you that type of money for nothing. I can guarantee you that. Multiple streams of income. Your job is your main source, but it does not stop there. Side hustle, freelancing, passive income, investment, these backups are like having your water bottle in your bag and your financial bag mindset, go bag mindset. One income simply holds you in place. I repeat, one income simply holds you in place. 2, 3, 4 streams of income will take you places. Remember that. Credit access. I don't have to tell anybody the importance of having good credit and having credit that you can count on, because those credit and having good credit standing is going to take you places, and you're going to have access and accessibility to things that if you don't have so much good credit, well, it's going to be a challenge. Having good credit and having the access to that credit is not for the reckless spending, but for liquidity if and when you need it. A credit card with a zero balance can be a life raft in a time of emergency. No one's going to tell you go out and spend everything and max out your credit card. But if you have credit cards and you have no balance and you have a high credit limit and something should happen, you have that safety net where you can utilize that and take care of things that you need to. And that's a beautiful thing to have. Another thing that you need, and this is probably one of the most important, if not, in your financial go bag mindset, is mindset itself. Mindset and knowledge. What do I mean and why is that important? Tools are useless if you don't know how to use them. Once again, tools are useless if you don't know how to use them. You have to read financial reports, financial books, listen to podcasts, hopefully like this, take courses and learn and develop and grow your mind. Your brain itself belongs in your go bag. You know, that, my friend, is probably one of the most important elements, is that you need to be in time that you need to do something in sound mind and judgment and have the ability to do what you need to do. It'll be no time to be scrambling saying, how do I? How do I? In a time of an emergency, in a time when something has to happen quick, who in that moment will you have to turn to and ask those questions? Get ready now. Be prepared. Building your financial go bag step by step. Let's get practical for a minute. How do we actually build this financial go bag? Where do you start? You start from where you're at. You audit your life. Excuse me. You have to know where you're at, and you have to be honest with yourself. So you have to know where your way. What is your monthly expenses, housing expenses, food, utility, transportation. You have to know if you haven't done your budgeting and your expenses, and you haven't done it in a while, or you haven't done it at all. Well, you might want to start doing that, because when you want to grow and you want to elevate personally, you're going to have to know where you're at to know where you're going. Start with that. This tells you how big your emergency funds need to be. Tells you where you're at and where you need to be. Start small but scale fast. As I told you, having that emergency fund, ideal 3 to 6 months. But if you don't have that, like most people may not have that, then start with 1 to 2 months. Start with where you're at. So how do you start that? Maybe an automatic savings plan of $25 a week or $25 every 2 weeks. That small amount builds momentum over time. Start from where you're at. Start small, scale fast. Celebrate your milestones. If you had $25 savings a week in 1 month, how much you have? You have $100. At that, when you get that $100, I would implore you to celebrate. Don't pop champagne. We're not doing that. But we're going to have a mental and emotional celebration that I am accomplishing something. Because that $100 turned into 2. 2 turns into 3. 3 turns to 4. Now we got to our 5. It builds just like that. With discipline over time. Build. Again, secure your essentials. Organize your document. Create both a fireproof folders or case or something to have them put away, but have them where you accessible, where you can get to them. And your digital files, make sure it's encrypted and all password protected. But once again, accessible where it can be accessible to. Another important thing is, and this might be, a little tricky and a little, fun. I don't know. I can't say fun, but a little tricky for people. Is you have to share this with the people you love. You know how many times someone has important documents in a safe? They're the only one who know the combination. And now they're not able to get it. They're not able to, they're not in a position to get into it. They're not with us anymore. And the people that they care about cannot get into it. If you have all of this stuff, you have to share it with the closest people to you. Because what use is it if no one can get into it? And in time, and as I'm speaking of, build income resiliency. Develop additional streams of income, multiple streams of income. You can start small. I know we got the overused term, as I mentioned, side hustles, but You don't have to use that term. It's just a matter of doing something you love and turning something that you love into income bearing, something that you can make money off of. Even, let's think about this for a second. Developing another stream of income, even if you made $200 a month, $200 a month from something that you enjoy doing, is huge. It's huge. That would be a huge tool in your survival kit and your financial goal bag. $200 a month, and now you times that by 12 months, okay? Okay, you got well over $2,000, $2,400 or something like that, okay? It builds in time, step by step. So find other things that you can do that can build income and build from there. Prepare for opportunities. So as I tell you, everything about the go bag mindset and a financial go bag mindset is not about disaster, but it's about being prepared for anything. So the other side of that is opportunities. How many people get an opportunity but just ill prepared for that opportunity? This puts you in a position where you can be prepared. Prepared for what? Sometimes your financial goal bag let you say yes. Someone say, hey, I got something going on in Paris. How soon can you get here? You have the ability to say yes to that opportunity. I can get things together and I could be there within a couple of days or a week. There's an investment. Getting in early on an investment is how investment grow. When you go buy a stock that's $2,000 a share, well, you at the height. Ain't no way in the world they started out at $2,000 a share. You want to start in the beginning. Get an early investment in something. Getting in a startup. Are you ready? I have this startup. It's a great opportunity. I'm not ready. I don't have it. Get yourself prepared that you could take advantage of these things. How about going back to school? How about leveling up, developing yourself? Okay? You know, every college and university has continuing education. Well, the continuing education course that's going to level you up in your career is $2,000. Are you ready? Can you spend the money on that? Can you invest in yourself? See, this is the mindset you got to have. Be prepared for these things because these opportunities are there. It's just a matter of you being prepared for them. These are what we call life-changing moves. Remember, it isn't about your financial go bag mindset, and your go bag mindset is not about fear. It's about freedom. And that's all that we all want, freedom. So it's going to require, as I mentioned in the first half, a mindset shift. You got to have a mindset shift. I'm telling you, we're living in times now where if you're not agile enough to have a mindset shift, you're going to be knocked aside. I hate to say that you're going to be left behind because I don't want anyone to be left behind. But we don't want to put ourselves in a position where that could happen. So we want to be prepared. So this is bigger than money and finance. It's more about anything, more about the mindset. Most people, unfortunately, live paycheck to paycheck because they believe that their next paycheck will always come. That's a risky belief if that's what you believe. A financial go bag mindset say, I'm in control. I plan for a storm so I can enjoy the sunshine on the sunny days. It is about moving from a reactionary place to preparation, from fear to confidence, from scarcity to abundance. When you have that go bag, you no longer see an emergency as a threat. You see it as a challenge that you are ready for and prepared for. You are equipped to handle. And that confidence and that understanding and that knowledge is simply priceless. I hope this message resonates with someone. I hope this message serves as a wake-up call to all that it's up to us to be prepared. It's up to us to do the things that we need to do for ourselves, our family, and our future. And unfortunately, fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, no one's going to come and do it for you. So now is the time. Now is the time to get prepared for the things that you need to do for yourself and your future. So I ask today, if life flips upside down tomorrow, What would be in your financial go bag? If you need to think about it, if you need to write, if you need to plan, whatever, start doing that sooner than later. Start building it brick by brick, step by step. Small savings account, a side hustle, quote unquote, a folder with all your essential documents. One action this week can start the momentum. If you haven't started and if you haven't thought about it, just doing one thing will make all the difference. Your financial goal bag is not about survival. It's about empowerment. It's about freedom. It's about making sure that you're always ready come what may. No matter what life throws at you, you'll thank each and every one of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your hearts and your likes and for just listening to me. And if you find that what I said makes sense and is meaningful, impactful, then what I will ask you to do is share it with somebody else. Share it with people that's close to you. Because we all need to be in a position that we're prepared come what may. Because we're living in ever-changing time. And the truth of the matter is, as long as you're living life, it's going to always be ever-changing times. Okay? Share with someone who needs to hear it. Financial goal bag isn't built overnight. So remember, step by step, brick by brick. Every step matters. Every step takes you closer to a peace of mind. And above all, to freedom. So until next time, stay ready, stay wise, and keep building your goal bag, your goal bag mindset, financial goal bag mindset. Gotta be ready. The energy that I'm always trying to emit and send out to everyone is one that I will hope that you stay rooted, you stay blessed, and you stay living life with purpose. I am D.E. Wilder, and this is the Hour of Power and Praise. I bid you all farewell. Peace and blessings. Thank you.